Hey, good afternoon, everyone. It is week number 8, I believe, for Taylor Racing. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the videos. And we got it back. That's right. This is it. This is the whole frame / airbox, the whole kit and caboodle for an 899 Panigale. It'll also work on a 1199, 1299, 959. So this is it. This is the frame. It is back from powder coating. As you can see, there's some bolts we have to take out. So to get it ready to go back on. We put the bolts in there so that the threads wouldn't get powder coated, because that's a pain in the ass to try and clean out and get ready for reassembly. So stick around, 2 minutes. I'm gonna get some stuff sorted out and we will put this frame back onto the bike. Okay, so we're back. We're in the bench. We've got the frame. As you can see, when they powder coated it, they left some non-powder coated stuff. They blocked it off for us, which is good. And on the steering head pieces there and there. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to pull off all these bolts that were powder coated in. Some are tight, some are not, because, well, some are tight, some are not. So we're going to pull these apart and we're going to make sure all the threads for all the mounting points and stuff are clean somewhat. You can see, yes. We pulled some off already. We got ones for the front for where the everything, the bearing head, the bearing stay goes in, because the frame will sit like this on the bike. So that's where we're at the moment. Okay, so as you see, we have all of the bolts out now. So bike is ready to go onto the bike. The frame's ready to go on the bike. So before we put the frame back onto the bike, I'm going to take the air filter and I'm going to throw it in, because it's much easier to do it here with the way that they're mocked in than if I have to do it afterwards with the injectors and stuff in the way. So once again, quickly just clip this in and set. Okay, so you can see from this camera angle, we're looking down on the bike. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts holding on the frame, plus the 2 up front for the radiator, and those go 1, 2, 3, 4. Simple. So basically, as simple as this. Watch out, because this is our crankcase breather hose right there. So that goes over there like that. Comes in, boom. 4 bolts and we're on. And that's how we, and that's it. 4 bolts. Frame is now on. We'll just tighten those down and then we can start putting the bike back together. So as you see, we've got a hinge joint here for the 14 mil 12 point bolts. I'm going to tighten them up and then we will torque them after they're all cinched down and nice and ready to go. So the point is to give them a little bit of a tightness. Good speaking English there, Ryan. Okay, so now we've worked our way to the front of the bike, and we've got the 4 bolts mounted. Like, so we have the frame airbox frame mounted to the motor. They're torqued up nice and tight, and we ran the crankcase breather hose through, and then hooked it back up. So that came through the frame here, and then that's hooked back up to there. You can see that's for your fuel. Your tank pops into there. But now what we're going to do is, so we've got the front here. So we've made sure that our threads are clean right here and here. And now we're just going to put the fairing stay back on and we kept it mainly together. As you see, the dash and everything is still on there, and our little GoPro mount right here. So you can do the rider view. But so we're just gonna put the 3 bolts on there. Everything else is wired up, ready to go. It just pops on like right as so, and I'll do that from there. And since I'm by myself and I don't have a mount, I'm gonna have to pause it, and then I'll come back to you. Okay, so on a side note, what I like to do, and this is just me personally, because if you put the bolts, get everything mocked up, and then you put one bolt in, you super tight it, and then you try to go put another bolt in, sometimes it doesn't fit. So what I like to do is, as you can see here, I thread the bolts in, a couple threads each, turn them in, and same as over here, right here. There we go, right, where are we? Right there. So that, here. Anyway, so there's a bolt right here, and then the 2 up there. So I like to, sorry for the camera stuff today, I'm sorry. So what I like to do is just thread them all in, a few threads, and then tighten them up afterwards. Just another thing I like to do. Just 3 screws on the side here, and let's put them, run it onto the frame, and 3 per side, and that's it. And then the electronics stuff is connected, and you are ready to roll. Okay, so now we've got those 6 bolts to hold the side panels on, like with all of our electronics. That's our ECU and some other fuses and solenoids and stuff like that on the one side here. And over here on this side, we've got your regulator and some more electronic stuff. So you have 6 bolts. They're on the frame now. We've got the 4 bolts to keep the motor and the chassis together. The 2 bolts underneath here and here, torqued up. That's a lap timer to keep the radiator and the rad support on. Now, so basically, the only thing we have to do now is 2 more bolts to connect the subframe right here to the frame. So, and then you go. The frame is basically on. Okay, so next part is we have our tank mount. So we're gonna put this on. This goes right here, as you can see. Slides right in. Got 4 bolts, well, 3 bolts, and then 2 for the ignition. Okay, so as you can see, now we've got the air box / frame all bolted up, subframe bolted up on both sides, and our side skirts bolted up that hold the electronics and the rectifier and all that kind of jazz. So we just bolted on our tank mount, and now we're going to bolt on the ignition piece here, and then we can throw the steering stem in and the top triple clamp. Okay, so as you can see, we've got the bottom of our frame, we've got a triple clamp with our stem in there, and we've got the greased up bearing in there. Make sure that your bearings are nice and clean and well greased before you slide it in. Oh yeah. And then we'll put our cap on top to make sure that this doesn't fall down. And I'll show you from the top. Okay, so up top here, you can see that we have the bearing. Oh, sorry, we have the bearing, and then we have the reese, and then we have the cap, or the like a washer type thing on top. And then we are now going to put on cap. Now there's a special tool that you put on, and then you can torque it all up. I'll grab that tool and torque it on, and then, but basically you get the idea of how it goes on and off. Okay, so here's that special tool. You can see it's just a put on your socket or a wrench, and then it has 4 little holes. It lines up with 4 of the 8 of those. Push it on, and then torque it up. Simple. Okay, so now that it's all torqued on, you see you can pin your triples back and forth. And that's the lower triple clamp and the stem in there all nice and tight. Torqued up. Our ignition is torqued on, bolted. Our mount or our tank bracket, right? See the tank goes in there. It is mounted to the frame. So we are pretty much set going putting this bike back together. Okay, so that's where we're at for today. I don't have the forks back yet from suspension, so can't really go too much further ahead. We could put the tank on and stuff like that, but we're still going to change up the livery a little bit maybe, or just put a different tank and some other stuff on. So we're kind of stuck at this point right now. So that's going to have to be it. I'm going to have to edit this one up and try and make it like half-what decent, because it was kind of hard to do by myself without my proper gimbal and with just an iPhone, because my phone or the camera actually died. So I'm trying for you. Sorry, but just please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And we should have more on the 899 build for you next week, as long as the forks come in. If not, I'll have something else for you. Anyway, so that's how you put a frame on to a Panigale. Nice and simple and easy. Well, not really simple and easy, but really simple and easy if you think about it. So anyways, we'll see you all here next week. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you all soon. Cheers, everyone.